The ASX's best US miners are up 50% for the month and 260% for the year. These US mining companies have been some of the best performers on the ASX after Joe Biden was elected to be US President in late 2020. We're looking at the best 6 here on Finer Market Points, where we connect the market's strongest themes and top companies for better trading. Click subscribe here for updates and like the video so we know which themes you're trading. Now, as we work through these leaders, regular listeners will recognise and know these names as the leaders from previous episodes of top rare earth miners, top lithium miners, and ASX companies linked to the Tesla supply chain. Although interestingly, no uranium miners made the top list this time. You can click on the links in the description to see those episodes and the research reports for those top leading thematics. Now we move over to the leaders for the month. Now number 6 is Copper Mountain, up 33%. Copper Mountain's flagship asset is 75% owned by Copper Mountain Mine, located in the southern British Columbia area near the town of Princeton. Now, the Copper Mountain Mine currently produces approximately 90 million pounds of copper equivalent, and Copper Mountain also has a development stage EVA copper project in Queensland, Australia. Now we look at number 5, which is PH2, Pure Hydrogen Corporation, 37% over the month. Now, Pure Hydrogen is an Australian East Coast focused energy company, and what they have done is the company has focused on energy for hydrogen and gas business with 5 hydrogen projects under development and the gas projects in the Cooper Basin region. Now, it's Australia's most prolific onshore production petroleum basin. That's the Stuart Basin in Queensland to develop Pure's 100% owned 154 square kilometre permit in the Stuart Basin together with the Saroa project in Botswana. Now, Pure Hydrogen had that merger update in the last week where Real Energy Corporation, RLE, ASX ticker, they're connected now or merged with Real Energy with Strata X Energy. And that announcement was on the 1st of March, combining that company. So that's a major movement for that company, bringing those two together, and that puts them in 5th position. Number 4, we look at Eagle Mountain. EM2 is the ticker, 38, just shy of 39% over the month. Now, this company is a copper gold explorer that is focused on strategic exploration and development in Oracle Ridge Copper Mine. And that's highly prospective Greenfield Silver Mountain project, both located in Arizona, America, United States of America. Now, many listeners may know that Arizona is the heart of America's mining industry and home of some of the world's largest copper discoveries, such as Baghdad, Miami, and Resolution, one of the largest underdeveloped copper deposits in the world. So that's EM2. Now we move over to Iconic Rare Earths, IXR is their ticker. Now it's just shy of 45% over the month. Now the Makuuta Rare Earths project is an iconic absorption clay. Iconic Absorption Clay, IAC is what it's known as. That's hosted by Rare Earth Elements deposits located 120 kilometers east of Kampala in Uganda, and it's serviced by high quality infrastructure including roads, rails, power infrastructure and cell communications. Now the company, that mineral resource estimate was increased to be threefold at Makuuta. Now that's 210% increase in the mineral resource at cut-off grade of 200 parts per million total rare earth oxide. Now, heavy rare earth oxides 26%, critical rare earth oxides at 35%, and that accounts for a substantial component of the resource mineralization. Now, scoping study is now being reserved to reflect the large scale and high margin potential of this Makuuta rare earths project. Working through that project, you can see there's some images here through the most recent announcement. But what we do want to see is Lake Resources being number 2. LKE is the ticker, and they're up 48% for the month. Now, this company is well known to be a lean lithium developer utilizing direct extraction technology for production of sustainable high purity lithium. And this is coming from their Carcha project, and that's within the Lithium Triangle in Argentina, among other projects covering 200,000 hectares. Now, this direct extraction method delivers a solution for 2 rising demands, both electric vehicles and high purity battery minerals, to avoid performance issues, more sustainable, responsibly sound resources. So we'll get back to that in a second, but the innovative direct extraction technique is based on well-used ion exchange water treatment method that's been tested for over 18 months in partnerships with Lilac Solutions. And it's a pilot plant module in California operating on Karcher brines, which has shown 80 to 90% recoveries. And that's battery quality lithium carbonate at 99.97% purity. And this has been produced from those Karcher brine samples with very low impurities. So what Lake Resources are well known and what have investors hyped up about is high purity at 99.97% purity lithium carbonate samples. And that's never previously been delivered at scale in a cost competitive manner for a premium price that they're extracting. They're also known to be sustainable, so meeting ESG targets. They have a far smaller environmental footprint than the conventional methods, and that returns virtually all water, brine, to its source without changing its chemistry. And that's avoiding what were known as water politics in the lithium space. And that's in the arid environments, and that's a better outcome for the local communities. But if we move over to their more recent announcement, that positive initial Novanix battery results for Lake's high purity lithium carbonate was announced this week. So that's returned from their initial testing by Novanix for high performance lithium ion batteries using Lake's 99.97% purity lithium carbonate. Now that name Novanix many Australian investors know as being linked with testing batteries for many of the well-known companies, and we'll scroll down to see that in a second. So Lake Lithium's carbonate performance is performing better than commercially available battery-grade lithium carbonate for most of the world market at the moment used for lithium-ion battery cells. And the Novanix program is set to continue for many months now to produce cells and batteries at a larger scale. So I'm going to scroll down here to see, this is where Novanix comes into the picture. If you look on the right-hand side, you can see Tesla and GM, Toyota, Honda. That's the EV use that are using the battery technology solutions from Novanix that are testing these resources from Lake and how that's going into the EV market. So while it's not a direct connection to Tesla, that's how companies, as how Australian investors are seeing Novanix and Lake Resources linked to Tesla. But then we come out to Tao Commodities at number one. TAO is the ticker, 52% for the month. Now this US miner is focused on titanium, and this is to develop zero carbon sustainable critical minerals in the United States for industries that are driving the modern world. This is space exploration, electric vehicles through to glass, paints and pigments. Now investors are excited about the space exposure because some analysts are reporting that it's a 6 times return on investment for a lot of space exploration projects. Now working through the deck for Tao Commodities here, we're going to see, we'll slow that down a bit. You're going to see that where they're positioned, you can see the blue dot towards the left hand side, which is their location in Nashville. They say they're developing these zero carbon footprint, but let's just scroll through. So what's happening in the critical supply chain for US minerals is that their Titan project is set to solve at least 3 of the US's critical mineral supply challenges: titanium metal, rare earth elements, and titanium mineral. So 94% import reliant, which is a critical aspect. So here we are, the US has 100% reliant on titanium sponge and raw metal imports. All the circles on the right hand side are showing where it's imported from, and then the one on the left is the Titan project within the United States. And then looking back on this map, that's again Tao Commodities, that blue dot on the right hand side in the US. And it's showing all of the markets that they're working with: Boeing, SpaceX, ATI, Lockheed Martin, many of the largest customers for the titanium resources. So what we're seeing is that the imports are coming from countries which rely mostly on coal for energy. So if we go back up, we can see China, which is known to use a lot of coal here on the right hand side of the map, where that high concentration of the blue circles are. And with that high reliance on coal for energy, they utilize a lot of carbon intensive process to get this titanium back to the US. So back here to these, this is where a lot of it's being used, and this is where the demand's coming from the US for all these companies on the screen here. So that's solving the problem that they have for not being able to obtain it within the US and wanting to be an ESG side of things. So they're up 52%. Now we move out to have a look at these top companies' performance over the 12 months. Number 6, we started Eagle Mountain, 131% over the 12-month period. Pure Hydrogen, as it has come to the merger, but that is PH2 showing 153%. Copper Mountain, C6C is that ticker, 167% over the 12 months. Iconic Rare Earths, a name that we have seen a fair few times before, IXR, 198%. Lake Resources, again another company that has featured many times here, LKE is a ticker, 227%. And then number one is Tao Commodities, again another company that has been surfaced from finer market points many times, ticker TAO, 267%.